Greetings, grasshoppers. Grab your swords and your 20-sided dice. We're infiltrating Jade Empire's mythical China, this time on Cheat. Welcome to Cheat. I'm Kristin Holt, and in this episode, we're kung fu fighting our way through BioWare's Jade Empire. This action-packed role-playing game is a departure from the average RPG, where you spend half your time rearranging your inventory and the other half trying to get your dwarf fighter to stop bashing orcs. Instead, Jade Empire places the emphasis on real-time combat action, where we think it belongs. We asked the game's creators about this approach.
Jade Empire begins in a small village in the south. It's a very fertile valley. There's mountains, beautiful mountains all around, and everything, is very peaceful and placid. You've grown up under the tutelage of a kindly old martial arts master.
Ah, there you are, my student. I watched your bout against Jing with great pride.
And you've become his best student. But of course, things don't remain nice for long. You find out that the spirits of the dead are starting to fill up the world. They're not going to the underworld. They're not, being reincarnated the way they should be.
Well, we've created a brand new world in Jade Empire, and it's one that's sort of a parallel universe. It's not set literally in ancient China or mythologic China, but something that's drawn from the myths and legends and inspired by those.
One of the things that separates Jade Empire from our previous games is that it's not a class-based game. You don't pick a fighter or a wizard as a class at the very beginning. Instead, you're really just picking your ability scores and a couple of starting styles and your appearance.
Jade Empire is the first time we've taken one of our role-playing games and moved it from a turn-based system into a real-time action combat system. We looked at a number of different games and how they worked their combat system, and used that as an inspiration for what the best way Jade Empire could go.
We went to 3 primary ability scores, which are body, mind, and spirit. So body is linked to your health, your hit points, really, your ability to survive in combat. And spirit is linked to chi. That's how much internal energy you've got. And finally, mind is linked to focus. It improves your ability to get away from traps. So if you run into a trapped chest, you're more able to get away with it.
We also provide other elements in the game, like the ability to pause during combat. So although it's real-time, and so it's an action role-playing game, we also want to allow players who want to be more strategic to be able to pause, change their style while paused, think and consider their actions, and then launch, unpause the game and launch some more attacks out. We felt it was extremely important to allow the players to play the game in real time, because first of all, you're controlling a single character, so we had to give the players a lot of things, interesting things to do, tactical choices that are really meaningful.
We have what are called transformation styles. So at certain points in the game, when you defeat some enemies, monsters really, they'll drop their spirit.
That's one of the most enjoyable parts of Jade combat. When you defeat monsters, creatures, demons and golems, you can take their spirits and use that to transform into the creature, and then for a short time be able to fight as that creature.
There's going to be a lot of replayability because the game's going to play very differently depending on which styles you learn. So the combats will be all very different. It'll be a lot of fun in trying out different attacks and talking with your friends about how one style worked more effectively against an opponent or another. The game's going to have different endings depending on whether you're role-playing as a good or evil character.
I think I'll take evil. And speaking of fighting, we've got more combat styles to show off. The most devastating attacks are harmonic combos. Start out with a magic or support style, then follow up with a martial arts style attack. These combos will guarantee you an instant kill on your weaker enemies. Pretty devastating, huh? Don't you wish you could bust that move on Mr. Pushy from the bus? While you daydream about how satisfying that would be, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll look at some of the game's more interesting characters. Welcome back to Cheat. In this episode, we're ordering Chinese and giving you the inside scoop on Jade Empire, a role-playing game with plenty of combat. One of the things that makes RPGs fun is assembling a kick-ass party. We talked to the good folks at BioWare about the characters who'll be watching your back.
I think it's time to let go of the past and look forward. We have exciting things ahead of us.
So in Jade Empire, you can have up to 12 followers. There's a lot of different ones. Dawnstar is one of the people that grew up with you at the school. She's an orphan, and she was taken in by Master Li. And she has this sort of strange ability. She can actually see ghosts often when other people can't, and sometimes she can even talk to them.
If kindly Yushan comes here and buries our remains, we can finally rest.
Not only does Dawnstar's creepy ability make her a sure thing for the next Sixth Sense sequel, but she can also be your strongest ally. During battle, Dawnstar's special abilities can replenish your chi as your secondary character. It's better to have a follower that gives you an extra boost of energy, rather than one that beefs up your attacks.
Black Whirlwind is the drunken axeman who refuses to do anything except kill. And, you know, as long as he's fighting, or drunk, or both, he's happy.
Don't touch my axes, don't touch my wine, and don't get between me and my enemies.
But when you adventure with him and you go to the Imperial City, if you look around and follow certain plots to a logical conclusion, you might discover Whirlwind actually has, shockingly enough, some depth.
No, leave it alone, Kui. You know better than to bring this up.
And, you know, a bit of a dark past that no one really would have expected from him, and that's the idea.
I should know. I'm the one who killed him.
Hang the Mat is the one that builds and upgrades your flyer.
Hey, that's the dust inductor I was hiding. The dragonfly can't fly without it.
The flyer can be used in the flyer minigame, which is kind of a top-down shooter, and it's also the way that you can travel around the world.
Wildflower, who's one of the followers, she's a little girl who somehow, and I'm not saying how, is sort of the vessel for two opposing demons, one of whom is very much a harmonious demon, a good guy. And the other of whom is absolutely delightfully evil and totally encouraging you do the wrong thing.
This is about what I can offer you.
The cool thing about Wildflower is that you're getting 2 fighters for the price of 1, if you know how. Keep talking to Wildflower about the 2 demons inside her throughout Chapter 3.
A few decades doing odd jobs for you would be worth it for my freedom.
Once you sweet-talk him into joining your band of misfit men, he'll be accessible as one of your followers in the main menu. And when you finally make it to the Imperial Palace in Chapter 4, Ya Zhen will make you keep your word.
The time has come, mortal. I won't share this shell anymore.
You can choose to keep your promise and help Ya Zhen defeat Chai Ka to be a true closed-fist master. Or you can choose the way of the open palm and help defeat Ya Zhen. A psychic, a drunk, and a girl with a split personality? Are you sure this game's not set in LA? Next up, we're looking at the consequences of choosing good or evil. Consequences? What the hell does that mean? All good gamers go to heaven. And when you get there, Forest Shadow will ask you to kill Mother. The demon that controls the cannibals at Pilgrim's Rest Inn. This boss battle has ramifications later on. Like Jedi Knights, Jade Empire's characters must choose between good, the open palm, and evil, the closed fist. If you want to play nice, accept Forest Shadow's challenge and head into the caverns. If, however, you're a cheater like me, choose the closed fist. That way you get to fight Forest Shadow and Shining Tusk and gain a whole lot of extra experience points.
I knew we could not trust her. We should not have wasted our breath on this pretender to the spirit monks.
Forest Shadow will vanish, leaving you to fight Shining Tusk and a bunch of underlings. Shining Tusk is pretty tough, and you won't be able to take him on with all the other demons attacking you. Instead of multitasking, ignore Mr. Tusky and wipe out the fox spirits first.
1,000 cuts!
Once you can focus all your energy on Shining Tusk, give the mythical pachyderm a pounding he'll never forget. And you'll find Forest Shadow waiting for you by the open portal. Without her big bodyguard, Forest Shadow's pretty easy to chop down. And when you beat her, you'll get to face the real challenge. Now, this mother is not the nurturing type. Instead, she comes from the Mrs. Bates Rip Your Face Off school of parenting. Mother draws her powers from her little cannibals and can't be defeated with any attacks. So instead of bashing her brains out, use yours. Turn off your targeting system by pulling the left and right triggers and run towards these pillars. Destroy all three and you'll bring down Mama's house. Wow, rock on. And here's another tip. When you're a true closed fist master, you can target animals for health orbs. After the break, we'll get busy in the battle arena and solve some puzzles. Yay, puzzles! Welcome to Cheat, the show where enlightenment is achieved through a console and not meditation. In our next Inside Peek, we'll be sharing the answers to Jade Empire's most ancient puzzles and drawing you a trusty little treasure map. I suggest you take notes or you're going to have to find all those artifacts yourself.
An ant that believes it is a tiger will never achieve harmony.
And Confucius also says, gamers who get answers to puzzle level from TV still gain extra experience points. At Two Rivers School, by the old master's grave, place some silver in his bowl and take the lion head token back to Master Lee's place. Put the token in the statue's mouth and the sphere will turn green. Next, put the blue and yellow figures on the altar. It will turn orange. Remove the blue statue, then add the red one to turn it purple. Finally, remove the yellow lion and put back the blue figure.
Examine your world from all angles, and you will see the interconnectedness of all things.
From mastering your colors, you'll receive the gaze of the lion, which means +2 health and focus. If you thought that was a colorful puzzle, check out this next Easter egg. At the Forest Shadows Temple, you'll be asked to open a portal to the heavens. Think Barney.
The cooler air of winter and the blistering heat of summer are the only things it notices.
After you take the temple crystal from the cannibals at Pilgrim's Rest Inn, place it on this platform. Next, start by firing up the first furnace. Its light will guide you to the next location. Pull down the blue stone and the light will shine towards the temple. Go downhill and light the furnace at the bottom. Follow the light to this furnace and pull on the red chain. Hit the pedestal again and the two lights will combine into a purple beam that will open a portal to the heavens. The final puzzle challenge awaits you in the Imperial City with the outspoken and obnoxious Outlander.
Don't you heathens know the worth of a proper king's halfpenny?
In this test, you have to win over a majority of these judges.
It will be a simple matter. 5 judges, 6 topics.
Get the judges on your side by opening with a sympathetic remark.
Well, a majority on your side, but the debate is not over yet.
Next, drive the nail in deeper by voting for a dismissive judgment.
Well, a majority on your side, but the debate is not over yet.
And as a closing statement, vote for a factual rebuttal.
What? My monocle must be fond. I can't see anyone in my favor.
You'll have to handle the Outlander yourself. And when you win, you'll get a chance to own the Mirabelle rifle.
Mirabelle is yours. Treat her well. She's a finicky lady.
I love skirting past the puzzles. Now, let's get back to the bloodshed, earn some valuable XP in the battle arena, and make money cheating at dice. Hey, sounds like that weekend I spent in Vegas. Life in the big city can be tough for an innocent girl who just wants to honor her ancestors.
Aren't you a sight?
Forget it, lady. I stick with male clients.
No woman alive can resist the call of lustful Lao's powerful yang.
But it is a great place to kick people's asses in the battle arena. Hanging around this little burg is a great way to pick up extra cash and experience if your character's a bit on the wimpy side.
You have the look of a fighter about you. Those hands, that stance.
Most of the people you'll face here don't have much kung fu hustle and can be kicked to the curb fairly easily. But like any good martial arts movie, there's one hired hand who's tougher than the rest.
I give you the Ravager!
The Ravager is the undisputed gold champion at the Imperial Arena and is pretty quick for his size. He fights with 2 golden axes that can send you back to join your ancient ancestors if you don't know his fatal flaw.
Storm Dragon!
Just use Storm Dragon to paralyze the Ravager. When he's shocked and awed, use any martial arts style.
Die quietly!
After a few seconds, the battle's over, and another piece of Black Whirlwind's troubled past is revealed. Another way to make money in the Imperial City is to gamble. Of course, gambling in video games is a lot easier when you know how to cheat.
You make a simple prediction of high or low. Then we roll.
In this game, you have to guess if your roll will be higher or lower than the gambler's.
Rolling low and winning large. You called it well.
This is where your save game feature comes in. It's simple, really. Every time you win, save the game. Every time you lose, restart. If only it was that easy in Vegas. Be careful, though. The AI in this game's really good. If you win 20 successive rolls, the gods of fortune will figure out what you're doing and kill Dao Shen. You know, this Tho fan dialect was created for Jade Empire by a college professor? I didn't. Next, we'll unlock a sexy Easter egg that shows the game characters getting it on. So stick around. Welcome back to Cheat. Now, we always suspected it got pretty freaky at those role-playing conventions, and the Easter egg we crack open in this segment proves it. Get ready for some ancient Chinese guy-on-girl, girl-on-guy action. It's about to get hot in her.
I hid something in my head because I was going to lose my memory.
Kang may be a typical absent-minded professor, but he holds the key to one of the funniest moments in the game.
Oh, where'd the city go?
Here, in Lord Lao's domain, the sexually curious can do some serious experimenting. First, pull on the water wheel. Then, move to the cranking cauldron. And finally, hit the clapper chimney. After that, press the tiger button, and oh my goodness, you've had a magical ancient Chinese sex change. If you've said the right things during the entire game, you can hook up with some of your party members. If you're a female character, you can end up with the sexy Silk Fox. But if you're playing with a male character, you can hook up with either Dawnstar or both Dawnstar and Silk Fox who consoled each other after your untimely death. And to totally confuse Confucius, you can even end up with Sky. How romantic. Holy crap, that looked like some party. Although I'm sure everyone's tired after that, there's still some fighting to do. Here's how to bring down a dynasty without too much effort.
I am a god! Come, student of Li, your quest for death is at an end!
The Emperor may be ancient, but this old dog knows some new tricks. Emperor Sun Hai's attacks are swift and deadly. Hit the left and right triggers to deactivate your targeting system. This lets you move in closer without getting whacked. Once you're in close quarters, turn your targeting system back on and commence with your offensive attacks. You can end this fight quickly if you've invested enough style points for the Jade Golem. Since he's immune to all the Emperor's attacks, transforming into one will ensure that this dynasty will be the shortest in Chinese history.
This cannot be! I am Emperor's son! I am a god!
Unfortunately, if your Jade Golem mojo's lacking, you're gonna have to handle Sun Hai the old-fashioned way. The Emperor's special ability makes him immune to just one type of attack at a time. This means that you can't use a weapon on him when he's got his staff out. And martial arts is also out of the question when he's going all fists of fury. The secret is to counter Little Sonny's style with the exact opposite strategy. And just like in the battle arena, you can use Storm Dragon on His Royal Highness. Continue with your Sun Tzu Art of War strategies, and eventually the mighty Emperor will fall. Though it's time to say goodbye, the Jade Empire experience isn't over. You defeated the Emperor, but there's a surprise ending and plenty more butts to kick. Jade Empire is also extremely replayable, so start over as a good guy or bad guy, and you'll uncover lots of new challenges. For more tips, check out the Prima Game Strategy Guide, and then if you still have questions, you can email us at cheat@g4tv.com. Thanks for exploring the rise and fall of the Jade Empire with us. Until next time, I'm Kristin Holt, and I'm a cheater.
Ha ha ha!